Can we stop with the notification? Okay. Oh, it's magically... Nope, there it goes again. Keeps going from 2,000 to 0. Nope. Okay, so here's the deal. When I came across... Hold on. Okay, that's 700 kilobits per second, which is probably terrible. The audio quality is probably terrible here, but there's not much I can do about it. Let me make sure the audio is not... When I came across... Hold on. Okay, that should be fine. Alright, now let's do the thing. Someone was asking what software this is. This is Blender, as you can see in the corner. And when I do this, what am I doing? Oh yeah, there. This is actually Blender, which has a video editor, which is completely free and very powerful. Everybody tells me that Sony Vegas and all this and all that is better. They're probably right. But this is cheap and does everything I need. So I'm actually excited for Blender 2.8 to come out. I messed around with the release candidate for the new version of Blender that's coming out, and it's all right. It's kind of hard to move this around because like you can't do it in like the full thing, but I'm hoping it'll fix some of the issues that I have in this version. Which if it doesn't, I'll be really disappointed. Anyhow, I do 3D animation in Blender. Yeah, Blender is pretty... That's pretty much what it's used for. I might be the only person crazy enough to rely on Blender for this, but it works. Blender is very good and very widely used for 3D modeling and the 3D animation. But yeah, so this is the new video that I'm editing, and if you want to see it in higher quality, wait till it comes out. I don't know what that's about, so we're just going to ignore that for now. But anyway, when I came across this video that you're about to see that I'm responding to... Oh yeah, I recorded this actually last week, as you guys can see. Got my lips pierced. And I actually recorded this last week, but it was the Tuesday before last that I got it pierced. And I was worried I wouldn't be able to talk. And it was really difficult to talk, but I could do it. Yeah, it actually hurt quite a lot. But the healing process is going fine. See that I'm responding to... I didn't necessarily... I'm sorry. There are cars that go by my house all the time. I need to make sure that it's out there and not in the video, what I'm hearing. Yeah, I mean, it hurt for like the first minute, half a minute, but hello. No, I don't seem to have any complications with the healing so far. I rarely feel like it was attacking any position that I had nor cared about, but I feel like it is my duty to disagree with most everything that comes out of the PragerU YouTube channel. So for this video, I'm going to take the unenviable position of the fundamentalist Christian socialist who uses the Bible to justify socialism. Sounds like fun. Let's dive into it. Comment sections 90% notification squad, 7% random people, 3% flat earthers group. That's because you're coming in early. The notification squad stuff dies out to all the people who are mad at me, as the first couple days go by. You'll find. Yeah, the comment section. Oh boy. What am I looking for? Oh, did I even download the video in the first place? Oh, well, that's... Hold on. Let me see. What is it? Control J? Yeah. I have no idea what all this is. It's probably in the other browser. Hold on. Okay, I've confused myself. Okay, thank you. So, I need to either find or download the video that I'm responding to. I thought I already downloaded it, but I guess not. No, not at all. So let's go. I have the link here. Sorry, I know this is all so interesting. All right. There. Here, I'll show you what I'm doing from here. Actually, I can close out of all this. Let's download the highest settings possible. Where are you guys at? Bring my chat back up. All right. Whatever. No notification? Yeah, YouTube's notification system sucks, and it has for a while. It kind of just... I guess YouTube just decides which notifications it wants you to get. It's... I don't know. So let me... Hold on. Okay. You guys don't get to see the files on my computer. Folder, we'll save it. Is that good? That's good. Okay, there we are. Now we have, where we should have what we need. So let's drag this here. Good old PragerU. Do you guys like PragerU? Me neither. Got the QR. That's fine. You can have your copy of Was Jesus a Socialist from PragerU. Oh, thanks for the $2.99. Nice videos, mate. Thank you, Random. It takes forever to show up on stream, but it will show up. But thank you. I appreciate it. Is this... No. Let's see. Hold on. Make this into a metastrip first and see if this matches up.
Keep PragerU videos free. Please.
Hey, there you are. It used to make noises. I think I turned it off.
12. And the meaning of the text is loud and clear.
I can't tell if it's lining up or if it's not. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it does when they're like off by a couple frames. So let's go ahead, add the speed control. So like there's a small difference between like the 29.97 frames per second and the full 30 frames per second, you probably don't care.
Jesus was not a socialist.
Okay, so this looks better, but I guess it doesn't matter much.
For watching this video. To help,
Yeah, that's better. Now we create the proxy. Go to 50% because that's what we use, and we rebuild proxy timecode indices. I do not edit videos, but would like to learn for home use only. Yeah, it's oh, thank you for the $2 more. XJ, love your vids. Thank you. Glad you guys enjoyed them. That's kind of why I do it. I do it for that and your money, and I got both. So thank you. Thanks for the 2. What I'm thinking of creating like full-fledged tutorials on how to use the new version of Blender, how to edit videos in it, like on a totally different channel. But like what I do, this software that I use, it can be pretty complicated. So if you're not like serious about it, you might not want to use Blender.
was Jesus a socialist?
I'll donate soon. I'm very low on funds at the moment. Hey, don't worry about it. If you don't have the means to donate, by no means do you have to. Why don't you get Premiere Pro cracked? I actually tried one time, and it was so complicated for me to find the cracked version. So I would just rather use this software that is free and does everything I need it to than to go off pirate something, learn how to use this new software when the end result should ideally be the same. Respect from Southeast Queensland, Australia. Thank you for the $2 Australian. Thank you. Why is pirating bad? Because it's super duper illegal. Although I probably wouldn't get in trouble if I did it. But specifically with Sony Vegas or Adobe Premiere, they have pretty decent DRM. So to go about finding a cracked version is, I don't know how to do it. I'll put it that way. Maybe it's simple and I'm just an idiot. But I don't know. No one thinks that Lawrence the weakest. I don't care. Okay. So we're cutting this bit out. And then here. I should pull up the script so that I can see the time codes that I should cut. Here, then bring you guys back up because you go away every time I do something. Okay, gotcha. Fuck off. All right, so if okay, we're gonna have to undo that. Cut 0, and then there. What video are you editing? This is the next video that will ideally be posted next Friday. It is about whether or not Jesus is a socialist. Spoiler alert, Jesus is not, but the Bible can be interpreted in a pretty socialist way. I don't know why I decided this topic. I hardly know why I decide topics anyway. I know somebody requested that I respond to PragerU. Then I looked at PragerU's channel. Then I was like, oh, this one, I don't like this video. Let's respond to it. I used Filmora, but I needed more stuff to edit my content, so I uninstalled it. Huh. Never heard of it. How long does it take to edit? It very heavily depends on a lot of things. It depends on how long your video is going to be, how complicated your video is going to be. Well, that's mostly it. But it could take me anywhere between like 5 hours to like several days worth of work. Like I think this one might take a little bit longer to edit than others, but it's kind of hard to predict sometimes. So sorry, that's a very unhelpful answer, but it takes me a while. Am I a Satanist? Serious question. Excuse me. I do not agree with LaVeyan Satanism, but as far as the Satanic Temple goes, I pretty much agree with everything they stand for. In fact, I believe I'm still subscribed to their newsletter, even though I hardly read it. I don't know, I just like to feel involved sometimes, but I wouldn't call myself a Satanist, but I guess. Well, hello, Romania. So the logic portion you agree with? Yeah. And the Satanic Temple has a lot of, like, they're very active politically, and I can agree with their political activism. I should make sure the audio matches up.
The Good Samaritan
Lawrence.
do.
I don't.
He helps the unfortunate man
billionaires
on the
can give
spot.
So this is how I make sure the audio levels are similar. I play a sequence where I'm talking and a sequence where the guy in the video is also talking. And if they sound about the same, then it's good. So that's what I'm doing right now.
No one
A
thinks
socialist
that
model
Lawrence.
when he kicked the money
no one
changers out of the
thinks that.
temple in Jerusalem?
If
You know what? I think that's good. If anything, this guy is slightly lower. Turn the volume up a little bit, but I don't think it matters much.
which
Note
is
the
a real
location
thing,
when the incident occurred.
creating the
It was in the
weakest
holiest of
strongman
places.
possible.
It's also hard to tell sometimes because he has a much deeper voice than I do. So sometimes when there's like a high and a low, you can't really tell if they're the same volume, but this is fine. It's fine. Is that your only source of income, or do you have another source of income? None of your business. Yeah, this is pretty much my only source of income. But Patreon helps a lot. So support me on Patreon. So at 11 seconds is where I cut here. So right here.
The answer is yes. But you could be
Doesn't always matter. So the next cut will be at around 23 seconds. This one's going to be a hard cut. See, I already have... Okay, you're going to have my Google Doc link. See if I can delete that before bringing it over here. Okay. Nobody gets the Google Doc link, but this is the script that I'm going off. I have it on my second monitor over here, which I should turn the brightness up because I can hardly see it with these bright lights on me. Anyhow. And I've already made this sort of annotations as to where I should cut it, which makes it a whole lot faster. So basically I'm gonna cut the original video according to these and then go back and concatenate them with my thing. All right. So yeah, this is how to do YouTube. Don't steal my method and then steal my audience. My name, it means nothing. I really wanted my YouTube channel name to be something that was very memorable and unique. Like, no one else has this name. So, like, I didn't want to be, like, the rationalist or something, because how many other people have rational or atheist or skeptic in their name? I didn't want to be another one of those people. It also helps to have a little flexibility so that I'm, like, not always talking about whatever's in my name, you know? So, I figured if it was short and unique, then it was a good name. I don't know. It's kind of reminiscent of my real name, which is Keith Hood. But yeah, other than that, I don't really have a good explanation. Writing a script is so hard. I appreciate your effort. Yeah, I don't find that it's terribly difficult because I pretty much already know what I want to say. I only write the script so that I don't forget anything that I want to say while I'm recording. Because I used to just record without a script, and then I would go back and realize, oh, I should have said this or that or whatever. I have no idea how it's pronounced, so your guess is as good as mine. Forgot what I was gonna say. So let's go 23 seconds. 23 seconds ish. Okay, this I wasn't sure if I wanted to do a hard cutoff here or let it play.
Bill Gates and Warren Buffett have given away millions too. Millions too.
You know what? It'll be best to cut after he says that because I talk about the billionaires giving away millions. Then 25, we're already there, to 42, which is here. And we can just cut there. Making sure to cut outside of the meta strip. Who drew the cartoons? I did. When I first started and I was just a stick figure, I literally didn't have a camera. So I actually still have it. This here is a ThinkPad T500. I just smacked myself in the ear. This is a laptop from 2005, and I was editing on this when I first started. That was all I had. So I didn't have a whole lot of options, and that thing it was running Ubuntu, and I actually couldn't hook up a webcam to it for a couple of reasons. So that was my nightmare for a while. I literally took a drawing. I put that through a scanner. I forget the word for it. A copy machine, and I just edited that. Recorded my voice with a microphone that was much worse than what I have now. And that's how I did videos, and everything just worked up from here. Now I have a slightly outdated but pretty decent mid-range computer with a whole bunch of complicated audio stuff. So yeah, it's been a wild ride, but pretty much everything was done by me, except for all of the public domain things that I find online and use sometimes. Laptops work just fine, not laptops from 2005. I was editing that in like 2016, 2017. It was well over 10 years old by that time. If you... I have no idea how to describe the experience of editing 1080p video on a 15-year-old ThinkPad. It's terrible. What's your specs? My specs now, I forget the processor. I have a GTX 970 because I found it decently cheap. Let me see. Here. Yeah, E5 1620. This is a server. This is a server. Well, it's a server. Server computer, server CPU, and this is running ECC memory, but it works pretty well. I really should upgrade my RAM, but I just never get around to it. But yeah, I actually bought this used. This is actually a ThinkStation S30, so I'm sticking with the old Lenovo line, I suppose. But yeah, 970 is indeed mid-range. Yeah, exactly. But it works well for what it is, and apparently it's VR ready. Apparently I can do VR with it. I'm never going to, but I could. I'd like to, but I will never have the money. Offline? No, I don't know if you're talking about the stream online. Yeah, on now. Yeah, it's showing up fine for me. So if it's showing up fine for me, there's nothing I can do. And it's probably on your end, but sorry. I don't know anything about server CPUs. They're essentially the same as consumer CPUs, except they have a different instruction set. So like normal CPUs might be a little bit more optimized for video games, whereas server CPUs, they're not meant for running games. They might run them decently fine if you just have it just a good enough CPU, but like the same price for a server CPU and a regular consumer CPU, you'd be better off with the consumer one if you're going for games. Server CPUs are better for doing like very computational stuff, but also they need a different kind of memory because servers are meant to be on 24/7, and you'll have memory messing up if you have normal consumer type memory going on 24/7. So it's just, and it only works with some motherboards sometimes. So you really just have to jump through some hoops, but it could potentially save you money if you know what you're doing, but it's usually not worth it. But this is. This is for me. This is much better than what I used to have. Yeah, I had this is like my second upgrade since I started YouTube, but yeah. Anyhow. Server CPUs usually have more cores. Yes, that is true. And I actually think this has 4 cores but 8 threads. I'm pretty sure that I don't use all of those cores at once, except maybe if I'm streaming video and maybe rendering something, which I'm not. I have no idea if I'm like utilizing all of the threads I have, but it works. Yeah, CPUs for gaming often focus on single core performance. Server CPUs often have more cores and threads, but less focus on single core performance, IMO. Yeah, that's generally true. Generally speaking, that's true because games. This may have changed within the last couple of years, but games don't usually use more than 4 cores at a time, and if they do, not very well. So for games, it's better to have fewer cores that work better, but generally speaking, server CPUs will have more cores to just do all of the computations and whatever. Also, server CPUs may be a little bit more efficient in that they may run a little bit cooler because you pretty much want that in a server, except this one's kind of old, so it runs really hot, and every now and then it heats up my room because of how hot the CPU is, or maybe it's my power supply. It's hard to tell, but yeah, it works. How old am I? I turned 21 not too long ago, so I can gamble and drink. How about that? Okay, so 20. This is at 42. So then we go to the 57th second, which is like here. See, this is actually PragerU videos are easy for me to make because they actually pause in between their points, so I can have a decent cut that doesn't seem like very sharp and jarring. What other things do you like to do when you're not debunking stupid claims on YouTube? I have, like, I go from hobby to hobby all the time. Currently, right now, what I'm trying to do is learn Japanese. I don't know any Japanese. I've only just started, but that's kind of my new hobby that I'm taking up, and that takes a lot of my time. And if I'm not doing that, I'm playing video games or hanging out with my significant other. But that's pretty much it. We have a spider on my chair. Yeah, we have tons of spiders here. They're friends. They're virtually pets. Don't worry about it. So here we go, 1 minute and 19. There we go. And I'm actually gonna make the cuts a little bit rough, as in I don't know if they're gonna be like the ideal place to put the cuts, because I can change that later and I don't really care right now. Just want to get, nope, go back, Lawrence. Calm down, stop moving. So from here to 140, which will be here. Then I guess we got to 228. Sorry if I'm not reading chat. 228. I'm terrible at counting. Why? Oh, here.
The bank.
Okay, so I guess we're deleting all of this. So 228 to 240, which will be here. Then from 258 here. I love their animations. It's like kind of good, but kind of bad. Like they try to do this shading and stuff, and just completely takes away from what would otherwise be a decent clip art style thing. How excited are you for trailers in this Comic-Con? Watchmen just got out. I do not keep on top of that stuff. I'm sorry. I am a nerd, but I'm more of like a I'm kind of like a nerd who's out of touch with pretty much everything. I was gonna say that I'm more of a weeb, but I don't even know a whole lot about anime or manga or Japan or whatever. So I don't really know. I will say I am excited for Luigi's Mansion 3. I'm excited for that to come out. And I'm ready for Spyro on the Switch because I really want Spyro on the Switch. There are a couple of other games coming out that I was excited for. But I don't know much about what's going on in the comic world or in Comic-Con. Video looks great. It's one of those infographics videos with cartoons. Yeah, like they're not bad. But it's like I would have made the lighting decisions. I don't know. 258 to 310, which will be here. Then from there to 323, which is here. Then we go 328 to 337. Oh, let me tell you, the Bible is all about separating church and state. Vineyard. Okay, I don't have a timestamp for this.
There is no evidence that Jesus, and there's lots of evidence that he supported free markets. In addition to the parable of the talents, Jesus offers his parable of the workers in the vineyard. In it, a landowner hires some laborers to pick grapes.
Do I keep all of this in?
Near the end of to recruit them 1 hour of work, the laborer, the landowner, am not being agree to work for. Don't I have the right to do what I? That's a testament to the principles of property, of voluntary contractualism. Jesus never endorsed.
Okay, I'm gonna have to. See, I don't like it. I don't like when I have that long of the video in there, because it's usually unpleasant. What is my favorite game on the Switch? Good question. I only have 3 at the moment. I have Mario Kart 8, Smash Ultimate, and Mario Odyssey. And of those are the physical games I have anyway. And of those, I'll have to say I'm enjoying Smash the most. And this may be a bit controversial, but I do enjoy Mario Kart 8 Deluxe more than Mario Odyssey, just because I like the replay value. I like that I can get way more hours out of it than, completing the story, maybe getting all the moons or whatever, and then you're just kind of done. Though I do have Warframe on the Switch, and I'm honestly kind of enjoying that more than anything else. So I don't know if that counts. Skyrim, I have Skyrim on the PC, so I don't feel like buying a worse version on the Switch. It's a good game, but other things I'd rather buy. I have old things, Wii U. I have a lot of older systems. Like, right next to me, I have an Atari 2600. I have a clone console that can play NES, SNES, and Sega Genesis games, a Nintendo 64, a Wii, a PS2, and then a couple more Wiis, and then another PS2. So I do play those a lot. But I was... Oh, and a PS3. I have a PS3 down here as well. So... And I got all that for pretty cheap because... But yeah. I play that and I enjoy it. Do you have Zork? I played it once, got real confused, and put it down. I think I was young at the time. Maybe I should get into Zork sometime, but I haven't played it much. Have you played Undertale? No, I haven't. I've watched the gameplay whenever it first came out, but I don't have it, no. When I grew up in the 80s when Atari was all I had, Nintendo came out much later. Yeah. I was actually given the Atari. I believe a family member died. I had no idea who he was, but like they were getting rid of all his stuff, and my dad came and was like, "Hey, do you want an Atari?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I want an Atari." And then I watched all the YouTube videos about the history of the Atari 2600 and learned all of that. So where are we here? 27 to 37. Come on. Here?
Railed against. Railed against.
Okay, so there. 37 to 453 here. I don't think he's selling olive oil. I don't think he has a license to be selling olive oil. Good at explaining things. Am I? I think when I'm writing a script, I do a little bit better than when I'm doing it on the spot. I'd still play Atari. It was so fun. Combat and Space Invaders were my favorites. Yeah. Yeah, I actually have Atari Vault on the PC, which is basically just a collection of all the, like, the Atari 2600 and arcade games that were made by Atari. I have all of those, and I could actually just rip the ROMs from that game and put them into my other emulator, which I use for the things I've downloaded illegally. So I kind of play that most of the time, but for me, the Atari version of Space Invaders doesn't do it for me. And you can find the original in like so many different like compilations. I've actually played the Nintendo 64 version of Space Invaders, which is totally different. It's kind of similar to the I believe the Game Boy Advanced version of the game, where the mechanics are totally different, where you get different kinds of like shots and whatever. I really want that game, but that's totally it's I think it's fun. But yeah. Do you plan to grow long hair again? And yes, as Kaylee here, Kaylee here says, I am planning on growing it again, and it might stay decently long. It's kind of hard because I don't know what hair I like on myself. Because like every now and then I'll like go back to when I had this hairstyle and I'll be like, I looked better like that. I'm gonna go get my hair styled that way. I don't know. And it's also really hard in the Louisiana summer to have long hair. I don't know how women do it. 504 here. Boop. And then that's it. So that's all of that. We'll take all of this, just move it over there, except these bits. Why not? We'll move it a little bit closer. Take this bit, and we'll do it right here. Save often. Jesus taught me a valuable lesson, and that's to save. You look good with short-ish hair, so not like a buzz cut or anything, but like grown out a little bit. Dude, do not grow it like you had before. It's just my opinion. Sorry. Yeah, it's not gonna grow as long as it was before, but it's gonna be longer than this. I taught you a lot about Earth through the flat Earth videos. Yeah, I like that sort of thing because I can. Sometimes even the simplest questions will have a very complex answer, and I really like diving in and looking at the answer to these seemingly easy but surprisingly complex questions. And with the flat Earth, it can go from like the laws of perspective to how cameras work, all the way to theoretical physics, and of course astronomy and all of that. But yeah, didn't realize you were in Louisiana. I grew up in Metairie and lived in New Orleans for a very long time. Oh yeah, I'm in the Baton Rouge area, so I'm not in like a swamp or anything. and like just outside of where it floods sometimes. Thanks, climate change, for flooding Louisiana. But yeah. Yeah, I'm in Louisiana. The Flat Earth videos are so entertaining. Yeah, I get a lot more views on them. But it's also really hard to make every video about the flat Earth sometimes. And I'm waiting for, I wouldn't say I'm waiting for it, but I'm kind of afraid of the topic of the flat Earth dying off. And then like no one's interested in like the videos I have anymore if like everything's about the flat Earth. But like then again, there are people far less interested in what the Bible says about socialism. So I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, I'm a Southern boy. I'm on Mississippi coast now. I understood about the heat for sure. Yeah. Yeah. Not in the bayou then. Yeah. Yeah, no. Mom told me the earth was flat until I watched. Mom told me the earth was flat until I watched the videos, then showed her the video. She kept silent for a month. Ah, that's funny. That's funny. You're all north to me? That's a fair point, angry Australian. Yeah. I'm from Alabama and the dew and humidity sucks. Yeah, the humidity is terrible, but like when the humidity makes me miserable, I don't realize it's the humidity. I just long for the air conditioning. Fundamentalist Christian socialist who uses the Bible to justify socialism. Sounds like fun. Let's dive into it. Do I start off here? Let's just go here. Sounds like fun. Let's dive into it.
Was Jesus a socialist?
Yes.
Well, if socialism is nothing more than being kind to other people, then you might think the answer is yes.
Everybody, raise your hand if you think socialism means being kind to other people. I know I get it confused sometimes too. We're like, oh, being kind to other people, is that generosity or is that socialism? I forget. Is that empathy or is that being a commie? I forget. And I don't see any hands, so yeah, no. Here, I usually cut like right to the beginning of when I start talking.
More than being kind to other people, then you might think the answer is yes.
No one thinks that. Okay, actually turns out the volume was a little bit too loud. I don't like it. Nope. Don't do that. Don't go back down.
You might think the answer is yes.
No one thinks that, Lawrence. No one thinks that. If you want to argue against Christian socialism, which is a real thing, by the way, creating the weakest straw man possible is not the best way to go about it. Let's go. What am I doing? What am I doing? Okay, then bring this up and you, and then click on you again because I did it out of order. Then this next bit can go here. Go about it.
But you could be kind to other people and be a capitalist.
Oh, who would have known? Such luscious lashes. Thank you. I get that a lot. Thank you. Is PragerU arguing the Bible is against socialism? Yes, he is. The Bible is very much capitalist. Yeah, gotta go. Catch you later. All right. See ya. Just arrived. Why are we all talking about Canada? Because I mentioned I was in Louisiana. Then another guy said he was in Louisiana. Then one guy said he was in Australia. And then a couple of people said they were from the north. And now they're talking about the north. So yeah. If I didn't say hello and goodbye, it's, yeah, well, sorry for all the UKians wanted to watch. But thanks for stopping by. Go about it.
But you can be kind to other people and be a capitalist. John D. Rockefeller probably gave away more money than anyone in human history, and he was certainly a capitalist. Bill Gates and Warren Buffett have given away millions, too.
I don't care, Laurie. I don't care. I don't care. Okay, I do several takes sometimes because as eloquent in my speech as I may appear, I'm pretty fucking terrible at it, and the only reason I look good is because I try over and over again until I get it right. So I don't care, Lawrence. Except that. So yeah, there we go. Millionaires can easily. I don't care, Lawrence.
Have given away millions, too.
I don't care, Lawrence. I really don't. Sure, billionaires can easily give away millions of dollars. That's not surprising. That's not what we're here to talk about. Australia is just an idea, a place in your heart you want to believe in. Then what is New Zealand? Except that's not at all what socialism is. Let's look at a real. What he just described is more, except that's. Okay, so there we go. This is going by much faster than I thought it would. Here to talk about.
To get an accurate answer
Here to talk about. Sometimes I feel like I make the stupidest faces sometimes. Not what we're here to talk about.
To get an accurate answer to our question.
New Zealand is a theory, a game theory. Okay. Capitalism, socialism is economic theory, not political science. I mean, socialism is not just economics, from what I understand. But yeah, you're right. Did I say something or did he say something? Yeah, you're right. How did you download his video? I didn't, because that would be so totally against the YouTube's terms of service, and I would never do that. So, I asked politely. I was responding to someone in chat. Oh, yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if I made that mistake, though, because sometimes I make a lot of mistakes in my videos. As intelligent and charming as I am, I do get things wrong, especially pronunciations. That's not what we're here to talk about.
To get an accurate answer to our question. To get an accurate answer to our question, we need to define socialism. Socialism is the concentration of power into the hands of government elites to achieve the following purposes: central planning of the economy and the radical redistribution of wealth.
Except that's not at all what socialism is. What he just described is more akin to communism, or perhaps even fascism, which is not the same thing. Let me, oh no, what did I do? What did I do? Okay, sorry. There we go. I'm entirely new to your channel. I'll go back and watch and compile a list of your errors. Oh, please don't. Please don't. I like to live. Ignorance is bliss, you know. I'd rather not have it quantified how many times I said stupid things. No, here. Define socialismo. Let's go do full screen. Do we? No, there we go. Then we do a screenshot. Window. We will save it as here, Socialist Jesus, and this will be Google. Whoa, there we go. We're just gonna get a couple images of the definition of socialism. I believe I did the Merriam-Webster dictionary ones as well. Yeah, so F11, zoom in to make it look more better. Can we, there we go. Okay. Then more screenshot. I know this is very intriguing. I should have. No, screw you. Windows snip tool. Yeah. I think there was a shortcut for it that I never bothered learning. Maybe I should. But yeah. That's what I use. There we go. Save as. What is this? Merriam-Webster. The other W. There we go. Then. God, fuck you. Why? Can I just have a definition? Why? Why? So I used to be much better at typing. Isn't it control print screen? Let's see. No, because I remapped my print screen to be volume down because I didn't have media keys here. So that's why I don't use it. I just remembered. But yeah, I don't. Can you? All right, whatever. Do I? No. No, that's ugly. This will do. This will do. What's an apostate? An apostate is someone who renounces his religion. Or like turns from his religion. This will be dictionary.com. There we go. Let me zoom out and do this and then do that. And then here we go. Let's look at a real. According to Google, let's look at. And then use it here. Not the same thing. Let's look at a. Most of my time editing is spent making sure that these cuts actually look good. Not the same thing. Let's look at a couple of real. See, like I'm not satisfied with them. Maybe I'm too picky, but it was like years ago now, but people would always. No one really liked jump cuts. They'd always. I guess they weren't used as eloquently as they were now. Jump cuts in like the early days of YouTube used to be like all over the place. But that idea sort of stuck with me that people don't like jump cuts, so I do my best to make sure that the jump cuts, or really any cut, just the timing seems decent. The same thing. Let's look at a couple of real definitions of socialism. Have you ever played Kerbal Space Program, and will you stream it one day? I have played it for a while, and I've decided that it is not the game for me. It could be really fun if I was more interested in that sort of thing, in rocket science. But I don't know. It wasn't for me. Like, I would rather play, say, what was it? Besiege? I'm terrible with pronunciation. But yeah, Besiege, I have a lot of fun with that. And yeah. Which is a totally different game, but like that's the sort of like building and like creative problem solving that I enjoy. So are you and Professor Stick mates in real life or just YouTube mates? No, we only know each other online through YouTube, and we haven't really had any communication lately, so no, we just yeah. Not the same thing. Let's look at a couple of real definitions of socialism, shall we? According to Google, socialism is a political. According to Google, socialism, which advocates that the means of production. Okay, so files, Google. There we go. Shall we? According to Google, socialism is socialism, shall we? According to Google, socialism is a political and economic theory of social organization yeah. And editing is a bitch. Yeah, I mean, it's not. The thing is, editing is not difficult. It just takes a long time. Even when you're done with it, you have to render it to put it into an actual video file, and that takes a long time. But yeah, it's just work. It's just work, and being able to do it well. It takes some time to learn. Why are you wearing headphones? Honest question. Mostly because I'm streaming right now, and you can hear my voice, and you can hear the computer. So I want to be able to hear my own voice through the microphone to make sure that it sounds good and that the audio levels are decent in comparison to that. If that makes sense. I'm not always good at explaining things, so it's mostly to be able to hear myself, and also sometimes like I live with other people and they'll be annoying, and then headphones will like shut them out. Except now I can hear everything because the microphone is picking it up. But yeah, I need to monitor my own voice. That's the word I'm looking for. Monitor. These are actually more or less monitoring headphones. They're not like. They're on the low budget end of monitoring headphones, but that's what these are. Wait, you hear your voice through the mic? Yes. But yeah, you'll hear singers and musicians do that when they're recording as well. Shall we? According to Google, socialism is a political and economic theory of social organization which advocates that the means of production, distribution, and exchange should be owned or regulated by the community as a whole. Owned or regulated by the community as a whole. I heard a pop. I have no idea what that was. I make the dumbest faces sometimes. According to Merriam-Webster, is any of various and administration of the. Those socialists, they're all about the means of production, aren't they? What's this video about? Socialism, and how socialist Jesus was. Kinda. Where? Oh, yeah, that's exactly what I wanted. Merriam-Webster. Might as well bring up this one as well. Just put it over there. Yeah. Bring this back down. Doobity-doop. Whole. According to Merriam-Webster, as a whole. According to Merriam. As a whole. According to Merriam-Webster, it is any of various economic and political theories advocating collective or governmental ownership and administration of the means of Dictionary.com says. Excuse me. Governmental ownership and administration. Fight the Flat Earth. Oh. I'm a big fan and would love to collab. I know, you emailed me about it. I don't know, like, what sort of video to make or when to make it, and I'm terrible at, planning and socializing, so I'm sorry, for not responding, but, yeah, I'd like to, but I have no idea how or what sort of video to make. But yeah. If you have any ideas, let me know. This video is editing, inviting fans to chat while he does this. I read chat every now and then. It's like, I don't know, it's hard for me to split my attention between this thing that kind of needs focusing on and this thing that kind of needs focusing on. Socialist ideology is not the same as a socialist country. This is the propaganda from the right. Yeah, they tend to confuse socialism with Marxism, or the Marxist Leninist ideas of Stalin and Mao. So obviously, you don't want to be like Stalin or Mao, so you don't want to be socialist, do you? Well, these ideas you're putting forth are socialist. It's kind of like calling anybody on the right an alt-righter, trying to make it sound like they're literal Nazis, but without directly saying it. So it's all like, oh, you're alt-right. Oh, you're a socialist. It's so damn annoying. It's like, why is it so hard to have a mixed economy without people bitching like this? I don't know. Anyhow. Can be socialist, but I don't see how it could possibly make communism work. Actual communism. Yeah, like, okay, here's the thing. The ideas of, like, universal health care or, we'll just say universal health care, because that's a good example, which works in, like, every other first world country, like, almost the entirety of Europe has it, and it works well for them, but it's a bit too radical, a bit too progressive for America. I guess that's technically a socialist principle, because you are taking money and distributing it according to the needs of community. But that having that idea incorporated into your government's policies does not make you a socialist country. It does not change the entirety of your economy. And I don't know why it's hard for people to get this, but America is not a straight up capitalist country, and no country is a pure form of anything. No one's a pure socialist country. No one is a pure capitalist country. Most people are social democracies, or at least most developed countries, I should say, are social democracies. That is, a democracy with capitalism, with a little bit of socialist policies, some socialist undertones that are there for good reason. And I guess it's kind of hard for these very opinionated Americans to get that a mixed economy is a thing that everyone is. Socially conscious countries, like, oh, excuse me. I mean, it's different because, like, the East it's very different from the West. More so than I originally thought when I started looking it up. But, yeah. Do you think the Chinese government is a good example of a functioning communist system? I mean, technically it is functioning well. I don't like the whole, human rights violations and all of that. But I feel like what's keeping China going, from my very limited, very poor understanding of China and its politics, it seems like China has a good relation with everyone else, mostly because of its economic value, and how much cheap labor we can ship off to it, and things we can buy from China, and things we can ship to China, all that sorts of things. And if it wasn't for that sort of pressure, so many more people would have, so many more countries would have a negative relationship with China, you know? But it's kind of weird because it seems like the East, they seem to tend towards these sort of authoritarian governments like China, North Korea, I want to say. I don't know a whole lot about any of these. But and before World War II, Japan was a kind of a cult of personality. And it's kind of odd how they seem to tend towards those, but like the West has fended them off for years, right? I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. I don't know why you guys listen to the things I say. Just doubled up in my poker 20. Oh, cool. Don't lose it now. I've actually only been to one poker tournament because I just turned 21 and I went to it for my birthday and I lost. So that was fun. I mean, actually, it was fun. And I was probably going to lose anyway. But yeah. I've been playing some online cash games and slowly losing money there. But it is also fun sometimes. What is the point of banning YouTube if people can use VPN? Not everybody's going to use a VPN. I mean, they're all about controlling information. Authoritarian governments always have been. It's just that, like, now the technology and sort of spread of information through technology has been so great that it's not practical to keep them, to 100% keep them from the internet. I don't know what it's like in China, so I doubt everybody has a VPN. I'd bet that the average Chinese citizen is just doing his thing being Chinese. I don't know. Wait. Anyhow. I'm using Blender. Yes, I'm using Blender. Fascism does not require a single dictator. You literally made up that rule in your head. It's just a logical fallacy. I don't think that's a logical fallacy. I also don't think I ever said that. I believe I said it was a authoritarian. I don't remember saying that fascism requires one dictator. I'm sorry if I did, but I know that's not the case. Lost it at your Chinese doing his thing comment. Yeah. That's it. Oh, right. Yeah. Sorry. I forget that you two, you guys in the chat also talk amongst yourselves. I don't know. Never mind. Well, in that case, yeah, you're right. Keep on arguing. Directing the comment to me. I didn't say it either. Oh, well, sorry guys. how did this thing with the juice get started? Like I'm out of the loop on what's going on in my own chat right now. I'm using Blender. Yeah, this is... I spend this long editing. Yes, well, I mean, I'm talking to you guys. So now it takes a little bit longer than normal. But yeah, editing does take a matter of hours. Say juice? No. Economic and political ownership and administration of the collective or governmental ownership and administration of the means of production and distribution of goods. Yeah, that's good. Blender's free? Yeah, that's kind of why I use it. It's free and powerful. It does everything I need it to do. Fine. Orange juice. How about that? Thanks for the $1 from Ryan. Thank you. If we call it orange juice, why don't we call cashew milk or like almond milk? Why don't we call it almond juice? Right? We should start a change.org petition. Of goods. Dictionary.com says that it is a theory or... I might have did a couple takes of this. Dictionary.com says... Dictionary.com... Oh, I did several. Dictionary.com says... Dictionary.com... Okay. And distribute... I'm showing how terrible I am at this whole talking thing. Almond milk is dirty water. I guess every drink is dirty water if you think about it. I'm wearing one of your t-shirts right now. Stick figure dark blue, just saying. Oh, thanks. I have not mentioned... I haven't mentioned my merchandise in a long time. So I'm glad there are people out there who still recognize that I have it. I actually had to throw away one of my own shirts that I had because I sweat a lot in it and it wasn't washing out. So that's what I get for buying the white shirt. Foggy nut water doesn't sound quenching. I mean, I guess not, but neither does cow's breast milk. And distribution of goods. Dictionary.com of goods. Dictionary.com goods. Dictionary.com says that it is a theory or system of social organization that advocates the vesting of the ownership and control of the means of production and distribution of capital, land, etc. in the community as a whole. As you can see, means of production fine, I guess. Well, she doesn't wear the same size as me. That's a thing. I'd give you one of my shirts, but you don't you at least don't like wearing shirts my size. So, I don't know what you want me to do.
Dictionary.com says that it is a theory or system of social organization that advocates the vesting of the ownership and control of the means of production and distribution.
Thank you, Alec Nathan. You have two first names for the $60 dollars. I don't know what R stands for. I'm actually intrigued. I've never seen. Is that what does the R stand for there? Well, thank you for the 60. I just don't really know how much that is. Brazilian real. Real? Let's see. Oh, okay. So that's like $16. Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you for the 60 Brazilian dollars. 14 seashells. Thank you. Thank you. Canadian money? No, I know Canadian money when I see it. Brazilian currency. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Someone from Brazil. Yeah, I get viewers from all over the place. I mean, most people are from the U.S. But I get a little bit from here and there. Some guys are from Germany, and they'll say, "Hey, hello from Germany." We get a couple people saying hello from Romania sometimes, and got a Brazilian guy giving me Brazilian money. So it's kind of cool. It's very interesting that people would. I view my stuff as very American, especially with like religion and politics, I suppose. So it's kind of interesting to see that people in Brasilia actually care about my videos.
And distribution.
Hello from Brazil. Hi. Hello, Brazil. North Korea here. I don't know if you're being serious or not. But I'm going to doubt.
Control of the means of production and distribution of capital.
Hey, some Australian money. Thank you, CMDR Darklight. Love your work. Thank you. It's gonna show up on stream. I was too late. I was gonna. Anyhow, thank you, thank you. See, I knew the Australian one. I hope I knew the Australian one. It might not be Australian.
And distribution of capital, land, etc. in the community as a whole.
Wait, weren't you guys saying that Australia wasn't real? Did you just give me like Monopoly money?
As you can hopefully see from these definitions, socialism is communism tends to be. Socialism is, as you can.
Oh, it's my computer. It's my computer that's obnoxiously loud right now. Not much I can do about that. Hello from Sweden. Mexico? See, I can see Mexico, but someone from Sweden being interested in my stuff. Hi from Louisiana. I'm in Louisiana. Maybe I should learn Cajun French to show people that I really am from Louisiana. Not that anybody really cares. I just want to make it a point. Hi from England. Interesting. Australia, and we do exist. That's what you want me to think. I don't know. I've heard some guys doubting that, so I don't know what to believe. Flat Earth here. I doubt you live on the flat Earth, but alright. Another Swede? England? Ooh. No money to give? It's, you don't need to give me any money. Don't feel bad for not giving me money. I am very gracious for the people who do, because they really don't have to. So don't feel bad. I see a lot of people every now and then saying, "Oh, I would give money if I could, but I'm strapped right now." And it's like, it's fine. Like, don't worry about it. Like, I'll do my thing and you do yours. You don't have to worry. But yeah. Originally from Nevada, but I live in England. Germany. Yeah, I have a couple of Germans. Dude, you edit in Blender? Nice. Yes, this comes up all the time. I edit video in Blender. It's free and very powerful. Thank you. OSU? I don't think you are from a video game. Some of you guys are just making stuff up, alright?
A whole. As you can...
I'm not that dumb. Not just gonna believe everything you guys say. Ohio State University, yeah. Yeah, I know. Mom needs to teach you some of it. Okay, look, everybody in Louisiana knows laissez le bon temps rouler. That's just a common thing that we say here. But how about a little bit more than that? Give me a little bit more Cajun French so that I actually know you're Cajun. Except, I don't know Cajun French. She can just make shit up and I'll believe it. I know the word couillon. One of the very few words I know. And parrain. Which I might be pronouncing that wrong. Probably pronouncing all of this wrong. But yeah.
Community as a whole. As you can hopefully see from these definitions, socialism is more about the distribution of wealth, capital, and the means of production to the community as a whole. Lawrence here makes it seem like socialism is inherently bureaucratic or totalitarian or dictatorial, but it is not.
I'm not Cajun, that's all I know. Oh, alright, okay. Okay. Does that mean I know the most Cajun French out of everyone here? Now, there's probably some guy in there in the chat that knows any sort of French, and I guess by default, he'll know more than me. I'll learn one day. After I learn Japanese, and then maybe German and or Spanish. I gotta prioritize these things.
Or dictatorial, but it is not. Communism tends to be though, and socialism, communism tends to be. Communism is communism, which is a really dumb is to his organization. Communism is though, but it is not.
Taxes are different because they are agreed upon in state and national constitutions. By the way, I need friends. Well, we are all your friend today. So. You should make a video explaining racism if you haven't. It would be interesting. Yeah, that would be an interesting video, except I don't know if it'll get a lot of views, and I don't think that there's a lot that I could say on the matter. I feel a lot of the social justice type stuff is fading out of popularity, or already kind of dead. So I don't know. I don't know if I'll make racism videos. Everybody picking ism. There's plenty to go around. Sure. I've been playing Wind Waker HD. The torches always have moths around them if they're lit, so it's great. Wind Waker HD. Was that a Wii U game? I forget. But yeah, I really like remakes of games. Like, I'm super stoked for Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated. I have a love-hate relationship with remakes, because sometimes they completely bastardize the original game, and if they're like truly faithful to the game and how it played, then on Wii U, yeah, okay, so that's what I thought. Obviously. But I don't know, I love it. I love remakes. Like, sometimes it's like I'm not interested in Ocarina of Time 3D for the 3DS, but I loved playing that SpongeBob game as a kid. I even rebought it on the PS2 and then beat it in the first day I got it. But yeah, I don't know what I'm saying.
Community as a whole. As you can hopefully see from these definitions, socialism is more about the distribution of
Not only game, but movies too. Like movie and show reboots, they're almost always terrible. I mean, maybe that's just how it is now, but I don't like them. I don't know. I'd rather see them in the charm of back when they were made, than to see it rebooted with some shitty animation and director and crew that have no idea what they're doing. You know? That being said, I did enjoy the It reboot. The It, well, I guess, yeah. But usually I hate them. Games can be remade well, like the Crash and Spyro remakes. Those, from what I understand, are good. I haven't played them. But yeah.
a whole. As you can hope,
Although I do want them to reboot the show Reboot, just because I want to call it the reboot. I've never watched the show, and I don't know if it's terrible or not. I actually think I have some of the trading cards from back in the day. Remember when we had trading cards of every movie and show? I don't, because I wasn't alive back then. But I think that's how I first found out about Reboot, and I was like, wow, this is so dated. Plenty versions of Star Trek to go at. Like, good or bad?
a whole. As you can hopefully see from these definitions, socialism is more
They did? Oh, they rebooted Reboot. And it was terrible. Ah, that's sad. I'm sorry to hear that. Wait, was that the cartoon? Did they like reboot it into like a cartoon form? Call of Duty Modern Warfare reboot? The new Call of Duty reboot. I thought they already remade the first version. Like the first Modern Warfare. Are they like remaking Modern Warfare 2 or Modern Warfare 1? If they're remaking Modern Warfare 2, I am all about it. Because I'm still playing that game. I actually have it like right here. And I have, is this, yeah, this is COD 1. I have COD 2 somewhere as well. But yeah, I love Modern Warfare 2, and I would love a reboot, because that was, I loved playing that kid as a game, because that was popular when I was a kid, and I would love to see everybody playing Modern Warfare 2 again. So that's probably never gonna happen. COD 4, yeah, that's what I thought. I thought they already remade it. What game is your favorite? I have a very hard time picking a favorite game. So I guess the games that I'm stuck between Ocarina of Time, Warframe, a couple of the Smash Brothers. I don't know, it's really hard to pick. Do you play TF2? Sorry, I don't. I tried to play it once, and then I lost interest. I do that with a lot of things that other people enjoy. I just kind of lose interest in them, and then find my own weird things to be interested in. So yeah, sorry.
Etc. in the community as a whole. As you can hopefully see from these definitions, socialism is more about the distribution of wealth.
Rebooting the first Modern Warfare? Well, I think that could be... I never played the first Modern Warfare. I played 2, 3, and Advanced Warfare. So it might be... I kind of like it just because maybe I could go back and play it without buying an old game, except then it'll be more expensive. I don't know. What Wired games do you like? Do you mean like... I don't know what you mean by Wired games. Is that a studio, or...
As a whole. As you can hopefully see from these definitions, socialism is more about the distribution of wealth, capital, and the means of production to the community as a whole. Lawrence here makes it seem like socialism is inherently bureaucratic or totalitarian
War Thunder
or dictatorial.
was a good game too.
But it is not.
I remember playing War Thunder on the old laptop that I showed you earlier. It ran terribly slow, but I really enjoyed playing it.
It is not. Communism. Or dictatorial, but it is not. Communism is, though. So he might be confusing socialism for communism, which is a really dumb mistake to make, especially if you claim to be for economic education.
You should post a video on editing that is a little more constructed and comprehensive. It's worth your time. Thanks for the stream. Okay, no problem. Do you mean like a tutorial? Because I've been thinking about doing that, because I could very easily just make an editing tutorial. But yeah, I think I could do that. No promises, though. Glad you enjoyed the stream. Did you play planes or tanks the most? I think I played planes more, but I did better with the tanks. Like, I knew what I was doing with the tanks, but I so badly wanted to be a pilot. So. If you have a quick PC or laptop, it's great fun. Yeah, I think I just have so many games that I want to play that I'll probably never get back to War Thunder. Because I can just see my time being eaten up by like Warframe, or even like Minecraft or something. You know, Smash Brothers. I'm actually getting Pokemon Let's Go Eevee in the mail sometime within the next couple of weeks because I got it on Prime Day when it was like $30. And I'm excited for that.
Though his ties,
I know it's a lot more casual of a game than the others, but I'm very partial to the first generation of Pokemon. And I played a decent amount of Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green. So I get to play it again. in Pokemon Go style.
claimed to be for economic education. Though his ties.
Oh yeah, he was. I think we'll duplicate this. You know what? We'll just take a screen cap of this. Not a screen cap. Just save this as an image. Will be that Lawrence.png. The right folder and everything. There we go. We can delete this. It's gonna be a lot easier to add effects on an image, like to transform it and whatnot. There we are. Real gamers play Minesweeper and Solitaire. No joke. Like a year ago, I went back to my Windows XP machine before I got rid of it. I guess I don't have them here, but I legit saved all the old games of Minesweeper, Solitaire, Free Cell, even though I forgot how to play Free Cell. And the other version of Solitaire that was different somehow. But yeah. Oh, and Windows XP Space Cadet Pinball, like 3D pinball. I loved it. I definitely made sure to save a copy of that. Real gamers play Space Cadet Pinball. All right. Yeah, coffee is definitely bean juice. Spider Solitaire, yeah. You should try World of Warplanes. They kind of stripped the mechanics, but the gameplay is nice. Just dogfighting, a lot of fun. FEAR. I have played Fear. I actually have it in the small box over there. And then after I bought that, I realized it was on Steam, so I could have just gotten it on Steam. But yeah, wait, I think it's on Steam. But that's definitely a lot of fun. It's like I've seen reviews of it saying that, like, oh, it's just jump scares, or oh, it's not really scary. But honestly, I was a bit spooked, and it was. I didn't get through the whole campaign, but it was fun.
Especially if you claim to be for. Claim to be.
Well, add a transform. Nope. We will add a transform strip.
Before.
Let's go here. Add some iframes. There we go.
Economic.
Not iframes. Keyframes. What am I thinking? Then do 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 do. Can we? Let's go pixels. Here we go. Then make it whole steps. There we go. View full render. Realized that I didn't save the iframes, keyframes, whatever. Ah. Going to bed now? Alright, well, good night. Brainless Steel. Probably, oh no, he's still here. Good night. When I was a kid, all we had was Pong. It came with overlays you tape on your TV. Came with tennis, ping pong. Can't remember the other ones. Yeah, I have, I don't have the original Pong on the Atari, but I have, like, I forget if it was like Video Sports or something like that, which is essentially Pong, but it's kind of cool because you can like switch it to like a basketball mode where you have to hit it up into a hoop and you're like trying to get it into the other person's hoop, or like a soccer mode where you have to get it into the goal, or like a hockey mode where it comes back around. It's actually kind of cool. I think, anyway. Save the keyframes this time. There we go. Yeah, see, this doesn't match up at all, and this happens sometimes with. See, you can see, we can clearly see economic education here. But if we go out of the proxies, then it's totally different for some reason. Hopefully that'll get fixed with the new version of Blender that's coming out. Jeez. Because, like, I switched it to pixels. And I guess that was going by pixels of the proxy, which is, like, half the amount of pixels. That's what I get for switching to pixels. But, I did that so that I could make sure it was whole steps to... I don't know why I did it. You know, I thought it would be better, but I'm wrong. Okay, see? This goes straight to economic education, but when we were to play it in here...
Be for economic education.
It doesn't look right, but in the finished product, it's going to zoom in on economic education. Anyhow, while you're watching PragerU, I'm responding to PragerU. Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat? I prefer Street Fighter. It's kind of a tough decision, but I'd say Street Fighter. I enjoy Street Fighter more anyway. Pong, that's before me. That's before me as well. But you gotta appreciate video game history so that you can fully appreciate where we've come to now. You know what I'm saying?
Claimed to be for economic education, though his ties to his organization is pretty meaningless because all it is a libertarian think tank, which is essentially a big circle jerk for people who think the exact same things as he does.
Oh, no. Alright, Control Z. The other Control Z. Alright, it's gonna have to redraw the waveforms. I think I did a couple more takes of this as well.
His ties to his organization is pretty meaningless, though, because ties to his organization... Okay, fair enough. His ties to his organization translates to a big circle.
There we go. I have to leave to do homework. Way super overdue homework. This is, of course. Alright. Well, see ya. Have fun in your homework.
His ties to... His ties to his organization is pretty meaningless, though, because all it is a libertarian think tank, which translates to a big circle jerk for people who think the exact same things as he does. And this kind of person is on PragerU. Who would have thought?
Go.
Okay, fair enough. Strictly speaking, I would actually argue... However, enough. Strictly...
Alright. Bring some of this further down. And these down here. Alright, there we go. Space Cadet Pinball, what's the highest score? I'm trying to remember if there was a leaderboard for it. I might have looked it up once, but I am terrible at the game, or at least I only really played it before I actually knew how to play pinball. So I was kind of just smacking everything everywhere. But my high score wouldn't have been very high.
His ties to... And this kind of person is on PragerU. Who would have thought?
Jesus never...
You can... Wrong key.
PragerU. Who would have thought?
Jesus never called...
Who would have thought?
Jesus never called for any of that. Jesus never called for any of that. Nowhere in the New Testament does he advocate for the government to punish the rich. Central planning of the economy. Nowhere in the New Testament does he advocate for the government to punish the rich or even to use tax money to help the poor. Nor does he promote the ideas of state ownership of businesses or central planning of the economy.
Okay, fair.
Oh boy. How's the future of atheists in America? Some crazy Christians making death threats on Facebook. I don't know. It's kind of hard for me to gauge as a whole how America is doing in terms of being tolerant of any particular group, but I actually don't think, for the most part, that that it's bad for an atheist in America. I think you'll have like pockets of places in the Bible Belt, especially, where people are crazy fundamentalist or whatever kind of Christian. Especially with the Jehovah's Witnesses and Mormons, those are gonna stay the way they are. So, but I think for the most part, you're just a normal person if you're an atheist in America. And I was actually quite surprised to see just how reasonable my family was when they found out that I'm an atheist. But unless you get unlucky and have a bad family, or you're in a weird area, most American atheists are fine. PragerU is toxic? Absolutely. Absolutely. It's hell here in Muslim world? Yeah. I bet. Especially, yeah.
Central planning of the economy.
Okay, fair enough. Strictly speaking, that is true. However, as a hypothetical...
Okay, here's a good question. What do you think about the atheist community of Austin, especially the Atheist Experience, Talk Heathen, and similar shows? I don't know much about them. I'm gonna be honest. I've hardly watched any of Talk Heathen or even the Atheist Experience, come to think of it. I mean, I really can't, I can't say enough to comment about it. I think I've watched some of that stuff, but I just kind of got bored after a while. So I actually don't really know a whole lot about it. I mean, this is, I don't think this is what you're asking, but like, him and Meta, his stuff is mostly respectable, I find. He does get a bit too political, like a bit too into politics, but for the most part, his stuff is respectable. That's the closest I can give you to an actual answer. The Atheist Experience kicked out rationality rules. Really? What for? Ooh, there's drama? Ah, I didn't know there was drama I should be caught up on. I should actually see if I can... Sorry if the stream messes up, but I'm going to try to increase this from 700 kilobits a second. Hopefully my internet's doing fine now. I've been streaming for quite a while. I don't think I'm going to be streaming for too long, but now my internet's doing fine. They denounced him for his video about trans women in sports. Oh. I don't think I've watched that video of his, but I can imagine. Yeah, transphobia. Okay. Alright. Huh. I really need to get caught up on all this juicy gossip. When you're in the stream, I won't be able to talk to my friends. Nah, they'll stay in the chat for a solid, like, 10 seconds. Well, people will be saying, oh, I'm the last one. No, I'm the last one. No, I'm the last one. And then I'll wake up tomorrow, hop into the chat, and be like, you guys suck. And they won't even know that they lost the game. The world has gone a bit mad recently, to be honest. We don't know how to talk to each other anymore, you know? It's like... We're sort of getting... Humans naturally have this idea of... This is what I believe. You can't change my mind. And that sort of ties in with the natural instincts of tribalism. Like, oh, we believe this. Anybody who doesn't believe the same things as my group is dumb, stupid. and wants to destroy America. But I wish people would calm down, like realize that reality isn't so extreme one way or another. It's like most people have a little bit of truth in their ideas. Even if they're mostly wrong, there's something about it that's true, and there's a reason they believe it. But instead, it's like, oh, you're socialist, you're alt-right, you're transphobic, you're this or that. I don't know. I mean, maybe he was transphobic, maybe he wasn't. I don't actually know, so I'm not going to say he was or wasn't. But it's like, why is it hard to accept that people have different opinions and different beliefs than you? If you go and research the controversy, please don't buy into the us versus them mentality. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. Like, that's what we all get caught up in nowadays. I don't know exactly why, or if it's always been that way and we just haven't noticed it because we were more polite before the internet or whatever. I don't know. People have been trying to polarize it extremely. That's kind of what I try to do in my videos. Try to show that instead of trying to say, like, oh, here's what I believe, if you don't believe it, you're stupid, or saying, oh, this guy's stupid for thinking this, I just try to show, I try to more or less educate people on the matter. Not necessarily say, oh, you're wrong, but kind of just show why. You know, when am I streaming next? No idea. These things are not planned in any way.
Central planning of the economy.
Okay, fair enough. Strictly speaking, that is true. However, as a hypothetical Christian socialist, I actually wouldn't argue that Jesus himself was a socialist. In fact, if he really cared about politics at all, I don't think he did, then he would probably just be fine with whatever Rome had at that time, except the discrimination against minorities because he was a minority, but that's besides the point. I would actually argue that the entire Bible as a whole encourages. Okay, fair enough. Strictly speaking, no, I would actually argue a minority, but that's besides the point.
Ah.
Against minorities because he was a minority, but that's besides the point. No, I would actually argue.
Okay, we can cut that down a little bit more. Overnight stream. Nah, what I'm doing is not interesting enough to make it overnight.
Against minorities because he was a minority, but that's besides the point. No, I would actually argue that the entire Bible as a whole encourages socialism. It doesn't explicitly state as much, but if I were to base an economic system on the Bible and its teachings, it would be pretty socialist.
Alright, I'll join your juice server.
And it seems that throughout this whole video of his, Lawrence... Anyway, it seems... And throughout this...
For example, I'm not a fan of gay pride marches. That doesn't mean I hate gays, but some people would brand me as a homophobe for saying that. Yeah. Yeah, for, like, if you were to say, like, hey, they're marching because... If you were to say that their marching is weird, that they have to march about it, and then people say, oh, you're so homophobic, yeah, like, that's unreasonable. But I... But, like, I guess, like, I mean, I can understand gay pride parades because it's, in most of the world, it's kind of hard to be gay. You know, throughout most of the world and most of history, even, there's been so much discrimination against homosexuality. Um, and even, like, in the East, you know, I think virtually all Asian countries have laws against homosexuality. In fact, there was this one country, I want to say, there's this one country that in the East that finally legalized gay marriage. I want to say it was Taiwan, but I'm probably wrong. And I didn't realize how big of a deal that was because I didn't even realize, you know, like Japan has gay marriage isn't legal in Japan. I don't know if it's like explicitly. I don't know their laws, but like you can't have legal gay marriage in Japan. Obviously, I mean, China, but that's not surprising. North, South Korea, the other places that I can't pronounce, all of it really. And it was only in recent history that the West became okay with the gay. So, like gay pride parades, it's a really big deal to be able to be openly gay. I'd say gays do tend to get crazy on their parades. Okay, well, hey, yeah, I can see how that can get weird. Kaylee, there should be a sort of tab or an option for invites. What you do is you you generate through Discord, you create a link that will link to the Discord server, and then you put that in the chat. I don't know if you're on the app or how you're doing it, but you should make an invitation link. Yeah, as Cube says. I can help you out if you need me to.
Were to base an economic system on the Bible and its teachings, it would be pretty socialist. And throughout this whole video,
I think this is. All right. Just making sure this was in the same sort of chunk and it hadn't moved on to the next bit yet. Here.
of his, Lawrence seems to, but that's besides the point. No, I would actually argue that the entire Bible as a whole encourages socialism. It doesn't explicitly state as much, but if I were to base an economic system on the Bible and its teachings, it would be pretty socialist. And be pretty socialist. And throughout pretty socialist. And throughout this whole
No, she's making a different Discord server for Juice. My Discord server, I actually, it's not going to be in this description, but in like the description of any of my video, you'll be able to find that if that's what you're looking for. Flat Earthers probably watch our videos and make the same claims every time. They do. They do. I suspect that some of them are bots. There will be people that state the exact same thing every sort of video. Or at least they did back when I was talking a little bit more about Flat Earth than right now. But, yeah. Should put it in the stream description. Alright, give me a second. Give me a second. Do I go? Where should I? What's the easiest way of doing this? Here. This will be the easiest. Oh, apparently not the fastest, because this is not loading for shit. Description. No, that's totally wrong thing. Description. Give me a second. Getting the Discord link. Copy. And then it may or may not update while I'm streaming. But I did put the Discord link there. Changes are being saved. Changes should be saved now. I don't know why it won't scroll. But yeah, it's there now. In fact, yeah.
Pretty socialist. And throughout this whole video,
Maybe help me. Okay. Are you on the app? If you're on the app, I'll show you how to do it on the app. Give me a second. Oh, it seems you have got it. Yeah, there you go. There you go. The official Juice Discord server. Yeah, you did it. Too bad I don't have Discord. It's fine. You're not missing out on much. We're all degenerates.
socialist. And throughout this whole video of his, Lawrence seems to take the absolute weakest possible arguments for Christian socialism to argue against. In fact, I could find much better arguments for Christian socialism just by looking it up on Wikipedia.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's go to the Wikipedia page for Christian socialism. Ian.Wikipedia. Christian socialism, which is apparently a thing. Then we'll zoom in to make the text bigger for those of you on small screens. Northern Hemisphere is the world view of the subject. Is there a lot of Christian socialism in the Southern Hemisphere? Interesting. What am I looking for? What am I looking at? Here. Then we'll save this as I think I'm not going to be streaming for much longer. So when the stream abruptly ends, you'll know I did it. But there's also this page that I wanted to screen cap. Okay. All right. Look at the margins. Well, I guess it's for the best, but right. Then we'll save this as Open Bible Economics. There we go. There we do. Thanks for the stream. It was super fun. Thanks. I'm glad you guys stopped in to chat. Yeah, it's fun, even though I'm not good at talking. But cheers anyway. Enjoyed watching. Well, thank you. Yeah, so just really no one's old tablet. Yeah, so check out the Juice Discord server if you're in on the juice. Apparently, I'm out of the loop on my own in joke. So go to the normal Discord server if you're not there already. I'm trying to bring it back. Trying to bring back the Discord server. I think I'm going to try to delete quite a lot of channels because there are far too many channels for the amount of people that are actually active. So I'm hoping by funneling the activity in a few places it'll actually be a bit more lively. What's going on? Actually ending the stream pretty soon. Without you, Juice could have never been made. I guess so. But yeah, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching. Thanks for giving me money. Please give Ezekiel 16:49 a look. Changes a traditional wrong perspective. Okay, let's look this. Okay, that didn't work out. I'm actually intrigued. Stop chatting so I can highlight this one specific message. Okay. No, fuck. Okay. Oh, well, that works out. Okay. Let's see. This is sin. Sister Sodom. She and her daughters were arrogant, overfed, and unconcerned, did not help the poor and needy. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's like I find it funny when like Christians, like crazy fundy Christians, are so totally against having good social security, but like giving to the poor is like important to them. But I think even in Acts, it was let's see, sold. Was it? Did I? Oh, I'm an idiot. Yeah, Acts, where they just sold their all of their possessions. Everyone, yeah, all the believers were together. They had everything in common. They sold property and possessions to give to anyone who had need, and sort of thing. And it says similar things in a couple other chapters. But yeah, in Acts, they sold everything they had and just became a sort of community within the church that had the same possessions and same wealth, and they cared and they gave to the poor and all of this, and somehow the Bible isn't socialist. Go figure. Thank you. I love this kind of stuff. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'll try to stream more, but I can't promise because every time I say, oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, I end up not doing it for one reason or another. I don't have a whole lot of time in the day, but I'd like to do more, and I'd like to bring back the podcast. Remember when I had a podcast? But again, can't make any promises. I'm gonna end the stream here. So thank you all for watching. Completely changes what Sodom and Gomorrah were destroyed for. How sodomy's common definition is. Oh yeah, that's true. Oh, you're right. that should have clicked, but not caring for the poor. But I believe, like, in the passage before Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed, it said they were all perverse in this and that. So, like, if I were to argue that, then I'd probably have, that argument passed back to me. So, what, I had a podcast? Yes, I did. It's called The Sinner's Pew. I should have a link to it on my channel page, and I will try to bring it back sometime. But yeah, hello from Netherlands. You joined in at the wrong time because we're just ending the stream. I'm sorry. The stream should be unlisted for quite some time before I delete it if you care enough to watch back. But sorry, Sam from the Netherlands. We're ending the stream now. But anyhow, I'm off. Thank you all for watching. Thanks to those who donated, if you're still here. And, anyhow, I'll see ya.